Teachers and other public sector workers all calling for pay rises. Teachers in England are striking today, and on Thursday we're joined by the Joint General Secretary of the National Education Union, the union behind this particular set of strikes, Dr. Mary Bousted. Morning to you, Dr. Bousted. What impact are you expecting this to have on schools?
Well, unfortunately, many schools will be closed, either wholly to pupils or partly to pupils, and we regret that. We don't want schools to be closed, and we don't want parents to be inconvenienced, but the responsibility for that closure has to lie with the government, who has refused to negotiate with us.
Well, you say they've refused to negotiate. They say the door is open. They say they want you to come in, and you're saying we won't walk through that door until you make a better offer.
No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we can't begin to negotiate until you drop your precondition, which is that we give up the one action which has actually got us to the point where the government is offering negotiations, which is the industrial action.
Well, you say give it up. There are no more strikes scheduled after this week, are there? Yeah. So can we get out of that, what our correspondent called a catch-22, where they are saying talk and we might improve the offer, and you seem to be saying improve the offer and we might talk?
Well, I have to say again, we've had no offer, but there is an opportunity absolutely to get out of the catch-22 situation that the government has created. There are no strike dates announced after Thursday, so the government has no excuse to say that it can't talk to us after Thursday, and we hope that they will. We want to be negotiating, and we want to try to resolve this dispute.
Now, you have called off strikes and you have been in talks in Wales and in Scotland, where the offers are both a little bit better. They're 2 years as well, and they're backdated. Does that look like the sort of formula that could settle this?
Well, I can't negotiate this on air. We don't organise in Scotland. That's the Education Institute of Scotland. But there is a lesson for the government to learn here. Neither the Scottish nor the Welsh government said we won't talk to you until you call off the strikes. They negotiated with the EIS and they negotiated with the NEU in Wales. The sky didn't fall in. In both cases, through negotiations, offers were made, which the EIS and the NEU in Wales felt it could put to members for them to decide. And it is very significant, isn't it, that the NEU, which is supposedly so unreasonable, has paused its action in Wales in order for members to consider that offer. We could have been there in England. The government has wasted weeks not talking to us when the Welsh and Scottish government have got on with the job that the electorate elect them to do and negotiated with unions when they take legitimate industrial action. It's amazing to me.
They might argue as ministers that they needed time for the message to get through to you and your members that you were not going to be able to get an above-inflation pay rise. In Wales and Scotland, the increases on offer are certainly better than they are in England, but they are not inflation-busting. They're not even inflation matching, are they?
Well, you put your claim in and then you go in and negotiate. I think that's well understood. I think that they've made the situation much worse because the offer in Scotland and the offer in Wales is much better than anything we're being offered in England at the moment. And of course, members know now that what the offers are in Wales and Scotland, and that sets an expectation of what the English government should offer. The government has done itself immeasurable damage by not negotiating and wasting weeks of negotiating time.
So just a quick last one. Do you think it is the Education Secretary's refusing to come up with the money, or frankly, she not got it and she needs the Chancellor today or in the days to come to say, here's some extra cash?
Well, the Chancellor must do that. The Chancellor must do that across the public service. It's not a coincidence that there is a wave of industrial action amongst workers who have worked throughout the pandemic and who have worked for years through austerity. Doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, teachers, civil servants. This is not a coincidence, and the Chancellor must release extra funds, significant extra funds, to rescue public services, which at the moment are simply on their knees.
Dr.